being on the webinar tonight. 80% of success is just showing up. And so I want to thank you all for being here today, because at the very least, I want to let you know that I'm actually going to be guaranteeing that you will come away with information that will let you have a better ability to communicate with information about 203K. So here's where we're going to move forward with the program. And the first thing we're going to talk about is, who am I? So I believe that before you can hear a person's words, you need to understand who they are. And to do that, I'd like to tell you a little bit about who I am. I didn't start out in life to be a 203K consultant. I actually started out in life thinking I was going to go in the dramatic arts. And so you can see there, this is not the image of a 203K consultant. So I just wanted to let you know that before I tell you about the 203K program, I'd like to let you know why I think that I should be the person who might want to be someone you might want to listen to. So here's who I am. First of all, I actually own a home inspection company, not unlike those that many of you own. I've been in business for over 26 years. As a matter of fact, I have been an ASHI member since 1997. I actually was a home inspector before I became an ASHI member, and so I've actually been a member of ASHI for 20 years, and that's actually quite impressive because many people haven't been in home inspection that long, so I'm very proud of that history. In addition to being an owner of a home inspection company locally in the Philadelphia, Delaware Valley of Pennsylvania, I actually am the executive director and co-owner of the Keystone Real Estate Academy. And this is a real estate school that I created in partnership with a lender, because in Pennsylvania, in order to teach continuing education credits to real estate agents, you must be affiliated with a real estate school. And so the only way I felt I would be comfortable doing an affiliation with a real estate school is if I was part owner of the real estate school. And so that's what I did, because education is what I'm totally dedicated to. As our company was one of the firms that had a contract with the city to provide home inspection services for first-time home buyers, we actually specialized in working with individuals who were receiving a federal grant, and that's how our company became expert at understanding the FHA minimum property standards. Because of my experience in understanding FHA minimum property standards, all of our inspectors in my company were 203K consultants, and it was one of the unique selling points about my firm, otherwise known as a USP. How many USPs do you have in your business right now is a question that you might want to ask, because saying to your prospective clients and prospects that all inspections are performed by an FHA 203K consultant is a great USP to add to your business. So because I was able to successfully repeat training individuals who I'd hired in my company to become 203K consultants, I actually took that knowledge, and at the advice of one of my mentors, I created the 203K in a Box FHA Consultant Training and Marketing System. And with this system, what I've been able to do is I've been able to, whoops, I hit the wrong button. With this system, I've been able to train hundreds of people around the country in the world of FHA 203K consulting. Oops, we're having trouble with this screen. Okay, great. So what happened following that? Well, because of all of the experience and because of the number of members of our 203K in a Box family, we actually formed the National Association of FHA Consultants, NAFAC. And in NAFAC, we actually are dedicated to the success and opportunities for all people involved in the world of FHA 203K consulting. One of the things that we actually have prided ourselves on with the National Association of FHA Consultant is the fact that we actually are the only nonprofit association dedicated to the success and to the education of individuals around the country in the world of FHA 203K consulting. And that's one of the things that has made us so excited and so happy to have you here today. So in summary, this is actually a little bit about me. I've actually been the 20-plus year owner of Value Home Inspection since 1994. I performed personally over 4,000 inspections and thousands of 203K consultations. So let's talk a little bit about you. We've talked about me, and now let's talk about you. How's business? I know I talked to many of you recently, and a lot of you said that business was booming. You were busy working inspections every day, totally tirelessly moving along with your company. But you know what? Your business is actually draining you in many ways. Are you up every night writing your reports? Are you booked into the next week because you need to make that money to be able to you need to get those inspections to make the money? This is how many home inspectors are running today. They're basically frustrated because they have so much work that they have to do, because in order to satisfy the needs of their client base, they have to be able to keep answering that phone. And obviously we don't want to stop answering the phone, but we want to grow your business. So are you trying to grow your business? I hope you're not trying. I hope you're succeeding. But are you having a challenge? Are you trying to get in front of real estate agents and finding that it's not as easy as it used to be? Because it actually is more difficult these days. Real estate agents don't come into offices. They're not there to be able to meet and greet like they used to be 20 years ago when I first started, when everybody had to go into an office just to have access to a computer. Now they can do everything from their home. So it's not as easy as it used to be to get in front of agents. And even when you get in front of agents and start cultivating a relationship, how many of you are finding yourself in a position where you are looked on as the bad guy? Many of you are looked at from a perspective that your inspection report is not the best thing that they actually planned on it being. So have you ever had a situation where you've driven up to the property, like the picture in the bottom right-hand corner, and saw that the house was a mess? Maybe not that bad with totally boarded up windows, but really in bad shape, and you knew that it was going to take you twice as long to do this inspection physically as well as the report, and you found yourself looking at it from a perspective of, oh my goodness, I really wish I could charge more for this inspection today, but you know you can't because you just charge your fees based on square footage, not on horror stories. Well, these are some of the conditions that you find when you're a home inspector, and as you know, I'm one as well. Our inspection report truly is a detour to closing. It's not actually putting a client in the path of settlement. In fact, it's a roadblock to getting to closing. Why? Because they have to get past the content of your report. We've all had a situation where we've been told, please, I hope you don't find anything really wrong because I really want to buy this home. Well, I actually found a way that's worked for me that helped me be able to create growth in my business without forcing me to work day and night on home inspections and still be able to have less liability and more freedom in my world. So let's look at the typical norm for a home inspector. Well, I did these numbers for myself, and the average inspection fee is around, for my company in Philadelphia, for a typical 3-bedroom to 1 to 2 bath row home, which is like a townhouse in the Philadelphia urban area, we get to charge like $387. So nationally, home inspections are around $350. Some a little higher, congratulations. Some actually lower. How sad is that? So let's look at how much time you spend. You've got your travel time, your on-site inspection report. If you actually are doing your report when you get back to your office, there's more time there. Marketing for your business and the follow-up. I hope everybody's doing follow-up. So you're spending around 11 hours working on the home inspection process. So that's about $31.50 an hour, which is not horrible. But if you think about it, you're going out saying, okay, well, I'm making $300 and $350 for this inspection, and I'm going out here and I'm only spending 2 hours at the property, so I'm making $175 an hour, when in reality, you're not. So what is 203K and why should you do it? And why has it been the amazing transformational opportunity for me in my business? Well, first of all, you get paid a lot more. And I bring that up first because why be in business except to change lives and make money? And obviously we're changing lives as home inspector. We're giving them information that they have to try to get around, get over, or address, and it's not usually a good scenario. Or you could be working as an FHA consultant and being able to make people happy, providing them opportunities for how they can improve the property and showing them how to get the money to do it and get paid based upon that information. So here's what is the HUD approved fee schedule that just was approved back in September of 2015. Now, all these fees that you see here are paid to you at the time you do the inspection. The client pays you, and they have no fee resistance because all the fees that they pay you prior to closing are deducted from their closing costs. So let's look at this. If you are going to also do a termite inspection or a mold inspection, radon testing, water and septic evaluations, as in many cases are required by HUD, all those are fees that many times a client balks at having to do. There is no restriction, there is no hesitation anymore because they know they're going to get all the money back to them at the time of closing. And that's what makes it so impressively valuable for them. Whoops, okay. So looking here at these fees, if a project is between $45,000 and $60,000, the fee that you are able to receive at the time of the inspection is $800. And $800 is what is paid to you, not including mileage and not including your home inspection fee. Now, isn't that fun? We'll talk about that in a minute. So here you can see, for a $35,000 project, before closing, you're going to do a home inspection because HUD says, for your protection, get a home inspection, right? And then you're going to get paid for a feasibility review. Now, don't worry, you're not collecting $100, but you're going to be getting it in the end. And then you're doing the work write-up fee. In this example, $750 work write-up. So the total fee is $1,250, not including all the extra tests that you might require to be done. So what did we say the cost of a home inspection was, right? $350? Well, even if it is $400, look at the difference that you're getting 3 times that price, and for less liability, because the liability transfers to the contractor and to the borrower after closing when work begins. Now, I also said that you get paid after closing. Here's how you get paid after settlement. You see, in addition to creating a preliminary work write-up that describes what the repairs are that are going to be included in the escrow, the client then hires a contractor. That contractor is put under contract, as it were, before closing to begin work after settlement. So after settlement, he doesn't get paid until you go out and inspect the work he does. So here you can see that on a project with a $35,000 repair, you're looking at an average of about 3 draw inspections, phase construction draws. And on top of that, how many projects have you ever known about in the construction industry that didn't have at least 1 to 2 change orders? Well, every time you process a change order, you get paid an additional $100 fee. So here on a project with just 3 draws, $200 is what our fees were. As of April, we're actually raising our fees to $250 in inspection. And you can go as high as $350. It's your own discretion. So we charge $200 plus $11.40 for this project at mileage. So I get $211.40 for every single inspection that we do. Plus, for just 2 change orders, I get another additional $100. So on the after closing transaction, I'm going to be earning $834.20. Now, for those of you who are familiar with phase construction draws, raise your hand. Excellent. Okay, a lot of you raised your hand. Thank you so much. So now with that being said, how long did it typically take to do a phase construction draw? Raise your hand if you feel that a phase construction draw takes less than 45 minutes on average, usually 30 or less. Yep, a lot of hands went up there as well, precisely. So one person actually even wrote in his message 1 hour or 1 minute. I like the 1 minute part. So usually a phase construction draw on a 203K it's going to be around 30, 45 minutes. At most, I'll even allow you the hour, although they do not go that long, especially the way we teach you how to process the phase construction draws before you actually go back out to the property. So for a 30-minute, 45-minute job, you're making $211 with absolutely no liability, and you're getting paid by the lender. The checks come in the mail from the loan company. So let's do our math. Before closing, after closing, the total on just this one job is over $2,000. And this is a small job. Many 203K projects are in the 50s, 60s, or even hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of repairs, which means this number could even double in actual volume. More importantly, other reasons why to do 203K. Again, money is important, but not everybody's looking for money. What are you looking for in your business? For me, when I started my 203K activities and when I really started to make that a focus point for my company, the purpose of 203K consulting and the value I got from it was because it gave me more freedom. You see, at the time, I had young children who were very active in after-school activities. Both of my children were in the marching band, and any of you know what marching band life is like. Being a band parent is almost as much of an investment in your time as it is for your child. And I wanted to be there for my kids. With 203K projects, I didn't have to deliver the report the next day. In fact, the turnaround time for a typical 203K transaction was 3 to 5 business days for me to submit the preliminary report. And then the time it took for the client to get the contractor meant that closing took place 3 to 4 weeks later. And then after that, I started to do the draw inspections. So I was able to make more money per job, which meant I did not have to do as many projects, which freed me up more time without having any drop in revenue. Also, just as you may be finding out now, if any of you are getting the question, do you do FHA inspections? Well, if someone says, do you do an FHA inspection, they're asking you if you do an inspection for an FHA mortgage. And the only FHA mortgage that requires an inspection is a 203K. So if you're being asked that question, that's letting you know that already people are asking you if you can help them with something that they need. Again, no liability, and this is a great way to get on a real estate agency list. You see, even though I had been in business for 20 years, there's always new offices opening that have some form of connection with someone else, another home inspector from a brokerage that they used to work with, and I sometimes, just like you, found it hard to get added to the list. Now I don't have any problem, because when we walk into an office and ask to be put on their list of preferred providers, even though they see our shirt and it says Value Home Inspections, we say to them, no, we're not here to ask to be put on your list as a home inspector. We're looking to be added as a 203K consultant. Do you have anyone on your list for that? And the next sentence is, no, we don't. Well, here, I would love to be able to be on the list for that. In fact, if you give me your existing list, I'll go ahead and add our company to it, reprint it, and bring you 15 copies of it. Because, as we all know, numbers come before letters, so the very first name on that referral list will say your 203K consultant and then your company name. And that's why I never changed my company name from Value Home Inspections, because even if they were looking for home inspections, looking for someone who was a consultant gave me even more credibility than just a home inspector. In fact, as a 203K consultant in the National Association of FHA Consultants, we actually have t-shirts that say, be more than just a home inspector. So these are some of the reasons why I love doing 203K. So how do you fit it in your business model? There's always a piece of the pie that's missing in any business that once you plug that little piece in, everything turns beautiful. And for me, it was 203K. Before I started 203K, whenever I wanted to add on a new inspector, I found I was struggling with the fact that, well, I was already I was meeting the needs of the clients, maybe only slightly missing a few appointments or having to double up or triple up someone on a day. But by and large, I was okay. But I knew that if I did not add another inspector to take over more inspections, I would find a situation where I didn't have any business, I couldn't grow my business much further. But when you take on a new inspector, you have to invest time with them, you have to train them, and then you take a hit because you got to pay him. With 203Ks, I'm able to do one inspection on one day, make $1,500, $2,000, and then the other 2 or 3 days give the inspections I would have normally been doing to the new inspector, all while going out with him and training him while I'm in the field. And the fact that once he becomes qualified to do so, we will certify all of our inspectors to become 203K consultants, so each of them have the ability to generate that additional revenue, but they can only do it through our software and through our company, so we have that sticking factor for our inspectors. So how's the best way to fit this into your model? If you're looking to grow your company, this is a great way to be able to free you from having to do those inspections that take so much time and labor and effort and give you the same amount of revenue. Are you trying to scale back your business? Is this a time where you're trying to make the same amount of money doing less work? Aren't we all? Well, this is a way you can also do that. And it is so much less labor intensive than a home inspection that it fits beautifully. So now real briefly, I just want to go over what a 203K is, because a lot of people don't understand what 203K means. You see, 203K rehab mortgages are not actually an FHA mortgage. There's no such thing as an FHA mortgage. It's actually an FHA insured mortgage. HUD does not actually lend any money. What they do is they provide the insurance protection to the actual retail lender against default from the client. But if the home doesn't meet the FHA minimum property standards, then the repairs would have to be completed either prior to closing, that's when the appraiser comes out, or they get added to the loan and completed after settlement. And in this way, a borrower can be able to make sure that they're picking the contractor who does the work, they're qualifying and selecting the materials that are being used, and in addition to fixing necessary safety and soundness repairs, they're able to incorporate into the scope of work desired improvements that make the house even more enjoyable for them than the home that they look to buy. So there are a number of FHA insured mortgages, and all of them benefit from the knowledge of being and having FHA minimum property standard skills. The 203B is the standard FHA loan, and by knowing what FHA minimum property standards are, you're able to provide a report called an FHA MPS, or minimum property standard report, to that FHA buyer for a very small fee that helps them prevent, if needed be, or identify what repairs the appraiser is going to call out before they invest in that $485 appraisal fee. There's a special loan called a 203H, which is a disaster relief mortgage. And this also uses the benefit of inspectors and consultants with 203K FHA MPS knowledge. The 203K, obviously that's what we're here talking about, the rehabilitation mortgage. And my new favorite, the energy efficient mortgage. I'm actually going to be holding a webinar coming up in about 3 weeks that I'd love for all of you to consider participating in, all about energy efficient mortgages and how you can be able to earn extra income by doing inspections for homes where the person is looking to buy a property and add energy efficiency improvements. You guessed it, the repairs are completed after closing and they need to be inspected by you. Another benefit that you might be having heard of, and raise your hand if you have, home energy scoring. Time does not allow us to talk about this today. However, the home energy scoring is an amazing way for you to be able to provide the client the ability to get more money to borrow because of the quality of the energy efficiency in the home. Again, we're going to discuss this at great lengths on the upcoming energy efficient mortgage presentation, so I hope you all plan to be there. So now, many of you have said to me when I've spoken to you at the last 3 events I've been, I've heard a lot about 203K, buyers are asking me about it, I'm getting questioned about it, but are they still being done? You know, I know people are talking about it, but is it being done in my area? Are 203Ks really busy? This is actually a report that is showing the increase in 203K year after year after year after year. And so you can see that nationally the number of 203K loans has continued to go up ever since the mortgage meltdown. You see, before the mortgage meltdown, people didn't think about it. They bought a conventional home, they could buy it at any kind of price, and they got refinanced immediately after buying it. A lot of things were different. But then when the mortgage meltdown occurred and sellers were selling homes that were foreclosed or distressed or in poor condition or upside down in the mortgage, you can see where 203Ks have jumped up. And now that people know about it, there's no turning back. So the question is, are you getting asked the question, do you do FHA inspections? And if you're getting that question, what is your answer? For everyone who's on the webinar today, we'd like to offer you the opportunity to know that we have lenders all across the country who are asking me as the Executive Director of the National Association of FHA Consultants to provide them with consultants. They need you, and there's nobody out there to work with. Now, another question that I have found, and again, this is an FAQ section, so frequently asked question is, I thought this was for low-income people. Absolutely not. And as you can see, the typical one single-family FHA insured mortgage nationally is $417,000. It's the maximum loan limit. But as you can see, you can go up to a $801,000 mortgage. There are higher ceilings, and a matter of fact, in Hawaii, which we have new members in our organization who are in Hawaii, the single-family loan limit is over $800,000. That's how high those prices are. Aren't we glad we live here? So these are the loan limits, and these are not low-income mortgages. So don't believe that this is just for low-income buyers. It also is not just for first-time home buyers. Anyone who wants to buy a home and get an FHA mortgage, and they will be living in that home because it must be owner-occupied, can get a 203K. And as you see, you can have 2, 3, and 4 family dwellings, which means you actually can have an investment property as long as you live in one of the units. So now why you? Again, a lot of people say, well, wouldn't contractors be better suited to do 203K consulting since they're the ones who are going to be doing the work? As you know, a home inspector is someone who can provide a great, neutral, no politically charged, no ulterior motive report about the condition of the property. We are the most objective and most honest people, and we know how to communicate this information to the average consumer in a way many contractors can't. Also, we're the ones that have the access to the customer earliest on in the transaction. As a matter of fact, FHA requires that the FHA requires that in states where there is a licensure to be a home inspector, all 203K consultants must hold that home inspection license. So for those of you in Florida, this is working great for you because many of you have contractor licenses and home inspection licenses. So now, again, let's get back to the money. Everybody asks me, well, how much money can I make at this? What is my average typical life going to be? Well, I want you to understand, first of all, I am doing 203Ks only part-time. I'm not here doing this every month. I actually work only 2 weeks a month in my existing market because I actually have travel around the country teaching about 203K and sharing information with people just like you. So I'm actually not really in the market for doing a whole lot of business because I'm actually trying to be able to work on being able to sustain my coaching business and the National Association of FHA Consulting. But the good news is I don't have to be, because the way it works is I'm only in my office a couple weeks a month, but when I am in the office, here's how it works. I do 12 initial feasibility studies in a month, and not including the cost for the home inspection fee, because I didn't want to include that in here. I want to make sure these numbers are really believable for you. So when I'm actually back at home 2 weeks out of the month, I do 12 inspections. Okay, when I'm in Pennsylvania, I'm usually there about 3 weeks out of 4. So out of the 3 weeks, I'll do 2 inspections on 2 days a week. So with that being said, that's 12 feasibility inspections a month. Additionally, I do about 4 streamlined 203K inspections. All right, so I'm only doing about 16 actual inspections where I'm actually spending 2 hours at a property because I'm actually not in town to do more than 16 a month. And then I occasionally will do a seller pre-listing. This is a great resource, and we have a lot of our members who are working on developing this market because sellers want to be able to provide a home to a potential buyer where they don't want to have to fix anything. Well, with the 203K pre-listing, they don't have to fix anything. They can give the report and say, these are the things that are going to be required or recommended by an appraiser. I've already gotten this information for you. I'm not going to fix them, but I've already lowered the sale price to allow you the room to add this in the mortgage without dramatically changing the appraised value of the property. Now, that is a very, very exciting opportunity that more and more sellers are taking me up on, and it's something we're going to talk about in a minute. So now 8 work write-ups. Now this is a little bit of an unfair number. The reason being is I actually don't do these. You see, once I do the initial consultation, the work write-up is something that's done back in my office. I don't have to go back out to the property ever again until after closing. The contractor enters his numbers into the software I'm going to show you in a minute. Then the client selects that contractor that they want to work with, and then by the click of one button, I'm able to import his numbers in the system, and then I charge the client the difference from their initial $400 investment to the total repair amount. So as I said to you, the total cost is $750. So 4 and 3 is $750. So 8 of the 12 that I do each month go to closing. And so I'm generating an additional $2,800 without even stepping foot out of my office. In fact, many times this money is being put into our company bank account when I'm not even in town because my assistant's able to process it. And then because I'm only in town for two weeks a month, I do 20 draw inspections. I've scaled back the number of active projects I have to just 20. And so right now, I can do 10 a day, and usually I will do them, I can do 5 to 10 a day. So if I'm in office 2 weeks out of the month, I do 5 on Thursday, 5 on Friday, and I'm actually generating revenue at $200 each for 20 draw inspections. That's $4,000 for those 30, 45-minute inspections with no liability. So if you total that all up, each month doing this part-time, I'm generating $13,000 just by myself. So now if I'm bringing in that much, I can give the home inspections to my other staff. And in 2017, I've already done $35,000 in jobs. A matter of fact, just yesterday, I deposited $2,120 just in draw fees. Why? Because that was 10 draws. Okay, so this is how you can make a lot of money. So I just wanted to share that with you because this is actually real. So now what's the flow of events? So now you're trying to understand, okay, I know I can make money at this, but where do I come in? What is a 203K and how does this work? Well, let me just go into that with you briefly. You see, a 203K consultant goes out to a property, usually at the invitation of a lender, and creates a feasibility report and a contractor bid. If the client already has a contractor, then we can give that information to him so he can fill in the blanks. If they don't, we actually teach you as a FHA 203K in a box member how to generate a bidders list that you actually can invite to bid to the project and generate more income by facilitating that bid meeting. So you go out and do your feasibility study and you identify the repairs are less than $32,000. Congratulations, you made $400 on this report, and the client can now move forward with the limited 203K. They used to be called streamline, but now they're called the limited. So make sure you use good terminology so people will know that you're up on your terms. But let's say the repairs are not less than $32,000. Then the contractor is going to complete a bid, and then you're going to import that bid into the system, generate the work write-up, and the client gets to go to closing. After closing, as I said, you repeat the cycle, going back to the property once every 30 days to do the phase construction draws. That's the very simple process of a 203K. So now, let me show you why, the second reason why I loved it. Remember my first reason was I wanted to be able to have freedom and time for myself? Well, the second reason for me is not about the money. Again, the money is great, and I'm so glad that I'm able to supply my company's needs and my family's need with that kind of revenue, even on a part-time basis. But the real thing that makes this work for me is I'm helping people rebuild neighborhoods. This was the house at the first draw inspection. The house had been vacant for over 18 years. You can see the overgrowth, all the trees. There was no sidewalk. It was a mess, okay? This is what the house looks like today. Now, this was an over $200,000 rehab in a home that was being sold for $80,000 in a neighborhood that was valued at close to $400,000. So we had plenty of room both in the amortized, the after repaired appraised value and in the borrower's ability to qualify for the loan. You can see all the trees that have been cut down and the fencing that's about to be put up. It's a totally different home, isn't it? Can you imagine what the neighbors think of this house now? This was the kitchen in that same home. Notice the gasoline tank next to the steam radiator. Fortunately, all utilities were off and most of the systems were vandalized, and you can see how bad this kitchen looks. You can see the wood lath in the walls where the actual tiles had fallen away. This house was one of my favorite homes. Why? Because this is what it looks like today. Yes, the client chose the cabinetry. They chose the mirrored tiles that everybody's wanting to have these days. They chose the granite. They designed the layout of the kitchen. They picked out all the appliances and the ceramic tile floor. Everything in this home was chosen by this contractor, by this client for this house after closing. Can you imagine how much love is going into this house? Take this bathroom. Now this was a hall entered bath. As you can see, someone had ripped open the wall and put in a PVC waste pipe. That's a reason to buy the house, isn't it? But it was a small bathroom, had a tub right behind the door. This was the radiator. There's the window. Pay attention to that window. The other reason I like 203K, I love to be creative. I like to be able to have some ability to help people visualize new things. So what did I suggest that we did? Instead of having a hall entered bathroom, there's that same window, we actually turned it into a Jack and Jill bath connected to the two bedrooms. And not only did we get to put a sunken tub with whirlpool jets, but we took the shower stall and made it a beautiful shower with multiple jets. This is the back of the property. These branches were actually laying on the top of the roof, as you can see. You can see that there's missing holes in the stucco, the broken windows. We had a lot of fun at this house, didn't we? This is what the back of the house looks like now. Now, this door was sealed up on the inside because they didn't want to spend the money in the 203K to build the deck. But you can see they've actually started to do the deck on their own. So you can see the flexibility does not have to be all in the 203K. They are allowed to do things that they want after closing. The front of the property, before, need I say more? Okay, these are the things that make life worthwhile. Being able to drive down this block, and I do go down this block for other inspections somewhat often, and I have to just smile when I look and see just what I was able to help create. So now, does this sound interesting to you? Do you think you might want to know more about becoming an FHA consultant? There's so many opportunities for FHA 203K consultants for your market, no matter where your market is. Many of you, I asked you to contact loan officers in your area to find out the simple question, not are you doing 203Ks, but if I were a 203K consultant, would there be business that we could be doing together? So by a show of hands, how many of you actually made that phone call to some loan officers in your market? I see a lot of you did. Excellent. Not as many as I would like, but it's only been a few days for some of you who are on this call. So, and I know what the answer was. You don't even have to tell me. A lot of the agents, loan officers have said, well, you know, I haven't done a lot of 203Ks because I can't find anybody to do them with. If I had somebody I could do them with, I would be doing more. Raise your hand if that was the response that you got. Next time I do this webinar, and I know Mike from my office is on the call, Mike, we're going to do a poll, and we're just going to have everybody just click that button. So we're going to actually show everybody how many hands are actually going up to that question. A lot of loan officers say, well, I've heard about 203K, and I know I'm able to do it, but I don't know how to do it, so I haven't wanted to try to do it. Well, we actually can make it so that you are the expert, that you can make it so that the loan officer doesn't need to know how, because you will know how. Why? Because you are familiar, you are connected with us. We help you answer the following questions. How do I get certified to be a 203K consultant? Where do I get my business? How do I market myself? Well, I can answer that right now. You don't have to. Once you're on the roster, the lenders will call you. What about the forms? I know I can't use my home inspection software, so how do I find out what the forms are? What do I charge for the fees? Isn't there some sort of an estimating component that I have to do? Aren't I supposed to put in the prices of the repairs? Yes, you are. And we actually teach you how to get real-time prices in your own community from the contractors that we're going to show you how to add to your list. And no, you don't use Xactimate, because Xactimate isn't for contractors, it's for an insurance program. So because I like to keep people engaged, how many of you are familiar with or have used Xactimate in your past? Okay, again, hands are going up. Thank you all. Thank you for answering that question. And you all know that that is an insurance quote, and those prices are not the same as contractors in the real market. So how do you do this? How do you work with the contractors? How do you talk to the borrowers? What do you say when you meet them? How do you explain 203K? Well, all this is easily done with the 203K program, and I'm going to see if you can listen to what this young man had to say.
Yeah, I've been a home inspector for 40 years and 203K consultant for 4 years. I just want to thank you last year on that, Catherine. But after that presentation, it put everything together for me. Being able to use the software in her direction has put my company on a direction of where I can use me 203K, so I really want to do.
So I think that the sound might have been a little weak on that, but I'm hoping you guys can get the message that this is an individual who is just able to do 203Ks simply because it's there for him to do easily with the program that we've provided him. So now, 203K consulting, you might have heard, oh, they're hard to do. I wouldn't, you don't want to do them. They're difficult. Everybody's going to say something is difficult if they don't know what to do. Just like anything, it's easy if you know how. Think back to when you first did your very first home inspection. Weren't you nervous and didn't you feel concerned? But didn't you have a mentor, a guide that helped you, that reviewed your reports?
that looked at the information? That's what the process is all about. It's the formula for success. And what is the most valuable thing that we have is our Genesis 203K Rehab Project Creator. This is the software created by me as a consultant. It is the only web-based system designed by a consultant for consultants, and the only one that incorporates a lender and contractor portal. We've actually given you a report process that's actually free for you to download. You actually can go today to genesis203k.net and start a free account right now and take a look at the software. Everything we do, it actually interacts with the contractor directly onto the database, and no other software does this. We provide you easy snapshots so you can see all of your reports that you have pending and active. And I will skip that because the sound's not great listening to the audios, but that's just another person talking about how much success they've had in their business thanks to 203K in a box. So then you want to get started. You want to get started fast? Well, we actually have a way that you can do that. It's called the 203K in a box Quick Start Training Package. And this training system includes complete certification through HUD and gets everything done that you need, marketing strategies to get yourself listed with lenders in your area, including PowerPoint presentations, workshop trainings, webinar information, things that you need to be able to get yourself chosen by the lender to go into real estate office with them to teach 203K to real estate agents and buyers. Plus, we give you real-time DVDs. You see, we've created this to be an at-home live study course. So you don't have to come anywhere, no flying, no driving. You can study in the comfort of your home. And in as short as 16 hours of training, you actually are ready to submit your package to HUD. Our 203K in a box home study course is a 4-disc, 8-hour DVD and 8-hour CD training program, complete with the workbook and my personalized support. After a weekend of time spent, you actually are ready to submit your package to HUD for review and certification. Now, what else do we provide you? We provide you everything you need to get to be a successful FHA consultant, including ongoing support. Now, normally the system sells for $27.97 on our website if you were looking at it, but we have a special discounted price of $15.97 that we offer whenever we do this webinar, or 3 installments of $667. Yes, that's higher because it is financing. And this price, as you can see, is less than what you're going to make on the first project. And it also comes with a full 61-day money-back guarantee on all training and support. And when you get the 203K in a box program, we actually are going to give you, in addition to all that, a 16 hours of CEU training courses, customizable. Topics include 203K, energy efficient mortgages, and home inspection. These are presentations that you have the syllabus, the knowledge assessment test that's required by many states as part of CE training for agents, and the PowerPoint presentation, all able for you to drop your logo and customize it for your neighborhood and have you be able to teach CEs. We also give you a DVD live presentation and all the marketing and promotional tools to create a live event called Contractor 101. This is a marketing event where you actually are able to invite real estate agents, lenders, and contractors to come learn about what 203K can offer them and how you, as their guide, can bring everyone to success using the 203K program. This is an amazing presentation that gets more real estate agents interested in 203Ks simply because they're getting to come and learn about it, not as a real estate agent, but seeing what the contractors are learning so they know what to say to their buyers. The expectations are going to be about the contractors. I love Contractor 101. I usually hold them in early spring, like around now, before contractors get busy, and it actually is a springboard to my entire 203K year. And we give you 2 months membership in the 203K in a box diamond level coaching program. So in total, this entire package is worth over $10,000. And included in all these bonuses, we're going to give you an extra special bonus if you pay in full. We are going to give you the complete FHA minimum property standards reporting system. Now, this is a standalone PDF product that actually can be used even by someone who is not an FHA consultant. This product allows you to be able to provide a report in a quick PDF checklist style that describes exactly the things that the appraiser is going to call out. In my market, we provide this as an upsell to our home buyers and charge an additional $175 with a home inspection, or a flat fee of $295 to $325 without, as a standalone product. You don't go on the roof, you don't go into crawl spaces, you don't take covers off of panels or heaters. You go to the same level and care of inspection, and I use that term loosely, as an appraiser does, okay? And that is a bonus that normally it sells for $450. Today, we're going to include it absolutely free. It even includes a downloadable audio recording and slideshow from a live presentation, and it also includes an extra special bonus. We give you the Jumpstart FHA Minimum Property Standards Business Plan. This is it's an hour and a half sessions. It's 2 1.5-hour courses on DVD and live on the website that you actually can just download from the web, where you actually are taught how to market, how to hold a PowerPoint presentation, how to set up a GoToWebinar, and how to use the MPS system. Now, this Jumpstart Your FHA MPS Business is normally a $257 value and a separate ad upsell when we sell the minimum property standards, but we're going to give that to you as an extra special free bonus today because you are here on this webinar. Also, we're going to give you the lifetime MPS system upgrades. I like to do things to make people happy in the way I wish other people would do for me. You know the phrase, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Well, one of the things I hate is that I change computers, and all the software I have on the one computer, I can't find the disks or the install CD or the original email that I installed it from, and then I can't use it on the new PC. And I have like 3 or 4 PCs, because on one computer I can do this, the other computer I can print checks. You know, how many here have ever had that happen? Tell me I'm not the only one. Raise your hand. Thank you. I don't feel so bad, okay? So what we've done now is we've actually given you the ability to have unlimited lifetime upgrades, changes if you have to get a new CD, new download. All of this is be able to be done. Now, normally this is a $175 cost, but again, we're giving all of these things, the MPS system, the Jumpstart Your MPS Business, the lifetime upgrades, and we're giving you the PowerPoint show for CEU and agent trainings, an additional $150 bonus, all for only $1,032 for this entire MPS bonus package. We're giving all of that to you absolutely free. No additional cost with the purchase of your 203K in a box FHA consultant training and marketing system. Now, what's out there? Well, I can tell you right now that there are just a few other people out there in the world of 203K training, and one company charges you $699 just for the software with absolutely no training. And there's others that charge you over $1,100 and you get just a CD and a workbook, and that doesn't even include their software. Our 203K in a box FHA consultant training and marketing system is a complete done-for-you program. Everything you need from soup to nuts, start to finish, everything, everywhere that you need to become a successful 203K consultant. So, are you ready to take your business to the next level? Are you ready to work smarter, not harder, for more money instead of less? Well, as you can see, just like I just offered at the recent event in Florida, because I am being given some financial support from lenders out there to get the ranks of consultants increased. We are not going to do it for our normal $27.97 fee or the $15.97. We're going to give you a one-time paid in full fee of just $9.97. That's less than what you'll make on 3 draw inspections. And you get all of the bonuses. And with that, you also will receive the Genesis Rehab Reporting Project Management System. And all that provides you access to with a clean, easy to understand system that actually walks you through, task-oriented, integrated with ISN. Every single thing is step-by-step driven, so you never have to wonder, what point am I at in the project? And with this software, you're able to quickly come out the gates, able to work with 203K. So as you can see, the software is designed to allow the contractors to submit their own bids right there on the system. And then here you can see this contractor is in the process of adding numbers. This one here is submitted. This is me as a test. Here these other contractors have yet to open it, and this contractor has actually submitted his bid, and this was in the process of doing it. So you can see the status of the contractors and where they're at with their bidding. Have they even started? What's the status? This is, you don't have any other system that provides you this kind of connection. And after closing, all the draws are able to be done just as easily. Available on your smartphone, absolutely. You can log directly in from any device. So now it's $97. As I said, it's $9.97, but hurry, the special doesn't end tomorrow. I've been asked, actually the special was supposed to end tomorrow. I said people had until Wednesday, but I'm going to give you one more day in case those of you didn't get a chance to call lenders. But if you act now, in addition to getting all this information that we're giving you here today, we're going to give you 2 free tickets to our upcoming 203K House of Horrors. We are going to be in Boulder, Colorado, coming up on May 5th and 6th. And at that event, we're going to be holding the 203K House of Horrors. On the first day, we're going to be going through the Internachi House of Horrors, and we're going to be reviewing the property as an FHA consultant, not as a home inspector. And then after we finish doing that, the next day, we're going to be sitting down and keying in all the information in the report, just as if you were a 203K consultant. So now, this program is going to be a fee to those people who are participating, but because you are, if you sign up by tomorrow, you will get 2 free tickets to the 203K House of Horrors. And we hope that all of you will plan to come out. The National Association of FHA Consultants presents the 203K House of Horrors in Boulder, Colorado at the NAFAC site. And you will get free admission there. Mostly everyone is paying anywhere from $75 to $250 per person to attend this event. You'll be able to have up to 2 people come because you signed up and took action right away. And this is actually something that's going to be only good until tomorrow. After tomorrow, this opportunity goes away. So I hope you will all consider this as a great opportunity that will allow you to be able to take advantage of your business opportunity. So now, a favorite quote of my husband, who is a Western film buff, is from Louis L'Amour. The choice is yours. Some say opportunities knock only once. That is not true. Opportunities knock all the time, but you have to be ready for it. If the chance comes, you must have the equipment to take advantage of it. So I hope you will take advantage of this amazing opportunity and go to this link, 203kinabox.com/special.html. You have to put the HTML, it's the only way it will go through for some reason, but 203kinabox.com/special.html. And you will be able to take the special price, and which includes May 5th and 6th, FHA 203K House of Horrors. So until I'm able to support you in the future, if you have any questions, please email us at info@203kinabox.com. But I really enjoyed being with you today, as I was at all of the events that I participated with many of you at. And I want to thank you so much for being on the webinar today. So until I'm able to support you in the future, be outstanding. Thank you all so much and have a great evening. Bye-bye.